FBI. The FBI is the nation's lead federal law enforcement and domestic intelligence agency. Its authority is incredibly broad, covering over 200 categories of federal crime. Its top priorities are counterterrorism and counterintelligence, stopping terrorist attacks and hunting for foreign spies within the U.S. Beyond that, the FBI leads investigations into major federal crimes, including significant cybercrime, public corruption, organized crime, and major white-collar financial fraud. It is the principal investigative arm of the Department of Justice. DEA. The DEA has a singular, focused mission to enforce the controlled substances, laws, and regulations of the United States. While the FBI might investigate a drug cartel for its organized crime activities, the DEA is the specialized agency that leads the fight against drug trafficking and distribution. Its agents work to dismantle major drug trafficking organizations, both domestic and international, by tracing and seizing their illicit assets, targeting their leadership, and disrupting their supply chains. ATF. The ATF is another specialized agency focused on crimes involving the illegal use and trafficking of firearms and explosives, and arson, as well as the illegal diversion of alcohol and tobacco products. Its agents investigate illegal gun trafficking rings, bombings, and arson for profit schemes, and the illegal diversion of alcohol and tobacco products. The ATF also has a major regulatory role, licensing federal firearms licensees and operating the National Tracing Center, which traces crime guns for law enforcement while federal law prohibits any national gun registry. Marshals Service. Established in 1789, this is one of the nation's oldest and most versatile federal law enforcement agencies. The U.S. Marshals have an incredibly diverse mission set. Their primary responsibility is federal fugitive apprehension, hunting down and arresting wanted federal fugitives, which they do through a network of nationwide task forces. They are also responsible for protecting the entire federal judicial process. They protect federal judges and courthouses, transport federal prisoners, and run the highly secretive Witness Security Program, better known as the Witness Protection Program. Secret Service. The Secret Service is famous for its first mission, protecting the President, Vice President, and other leaders. However, it has a second, equally important mission that traces back to its founding, protecting the nation's financial infrastructure. Secret Service agents are the lead investigators for financial crimes such as counterfeiting of U.S. currency, access device fraud, like credit card skimming, and major cyber financial crimes. The agency was created in 1865 to fight counterfeiting. Its full-time presidential protection mission began in 1901 after McKinley's assassination and later expanded. ICE. ICE is the primary agency responsible for enforcing immigration and customs laws within the interior of the United States. Its mission is split between two main directorates. Homeland Security Investigations is the investigative arm, tackling transnational criminal organizations involved in human trafficking, smuggling of narcotics and weapons, and financial crimes. Enforcement and removal operations is the other arm, responsible for identifying, arresting, and deporting non-citizens who have violated U.S. immigration law. CBP. While ICE operates within the country, CBP is the uniformed law enforcement agency responsible for securing America's borders. CBP officers manage all official ports of entry, airports, seaports, and land border crossings, inspecting travelers and cargo to prevent illegal goods and inadmissible people from entering. The U.S. Border Patrol, a key component of CBP, is the mobile law enforcement arm responsible for patrolling the vast land areas between the official ports of entry to prevent the illegal entry of people and contraband. IRS-CI. This is the law enforcement arm of the IRS. While a regular IRS agent might audit you for a mistake on your taxes, IRS Criminal Investigation Special Agents are sworn federal law enforcement officers who investigate major financial crimes. They are the only federal agents authorized to investigate tax crimes, and they are world-renowned for their ability to follow the money trail. They investigate tax evasion, money laundering, and complex financial fraud. Because even criminals have to pay taxes, IRS-CI agents were famously responsible for building the case that ultimately convicted Al Capone. USPIS. As one of America's oldest law enforcement agencies, the USPIS protects the U.S. mail system. Its postal inspectors investigate any crime with a mail nexus. If it touches the mail, it's their jurisdiction. This broad mandate covers everything from mail fraud and identity theft to the shipment of illegal narcotics and assaults on postal employees. They are a surprisingly powerful force, protecting the integrity of the nation's mail from the mailbox to the doorstep, ensuring public trust in this vital service. DSS. The DSS is the law enforcement and security arm of the U.S. Department of State. It is the most widely represented U.S. law enforcement and security agency, with special agents responsible for protecting U.S. embassies and diplomatic personnel in over 170 countries. Domestically, they protect the Secretary of State and visiting foreign dignitaries. Their global mission also includes investigating passport and visa fraud, making them a crucial front line for national security far beyond America's borders. FAMS. The FAMS is the primary law enforcement entity in the sky. As part of the TSA, its air marshals are armed, plainclothes federal officers who fly incognito on commercial aircraft worldwide. Their mission is to detect, deter, and defeat hostile acts targeting U.S. aviation. They are the nation's first line of defense against in-flight terrorism and are highly trained in close-quarters combat and marksmanship to operate effectively within the tight confines of an aircraft cabin. FPS. While the U.S. Marshals protect the courthouses, the FPS is the uniformed police force and investigative agency responsible for the security of thousands of other non-military federal buildings. Its officers and agents protect federal employees and visitors, conduct security assessments for facilities, and respond to threats at the vast network of government offices managed by the General Services Administration, ensuring the day-to-day work of the government can proceed safely. Capitol Police. The U.S. Capitol Police is a unique federal agency with a singular, critical mission: to protect the United States Congress. Operating independently of the executive branch, its officers are responsible for the security of members of Congress, the U.S. Capitol building, its surrounding grounds, and the entire legislative process. They are a high-profile, protective police force tasked with ensuring that the legislative branch of government can operate safely and without intimidation. NCIS. Made famous by the TV show, NCIS is a real civilian-led agency that investigates felony-level crime and terrorism and provides counterintelligence protection for the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps. Its special agents operate globally, both ashore and afloat. They investigate complex cases, from homicide and major fraud to cyber intrusions and threats to naval aviation, ensuring the security and integrity of America's maritime forces. CID. The Army's CID is the primary criminal investigative organization for the U.S. Army, the largest branch of the military. Its sworn federal agents are responsible for investigating all serious felony-level crimes in which the Army has an interest. Operating worldwide wherever the Army is deployed, CID special agents investigate everything from death scenes and sexual assault to major fraud and cybercrime, upholding the rule of law within the force. OSI. The Air Force OSI is a federal law enforcement agency with a broad mission that extends beyond typical criminal investigations. OSI special agents conduct criminal investigations, but they are also the Air Force and Space Force's primary counterintelligence service. They neutralize threats to personnel and high-value technology, investigate fraud in multi-billion-dollar contracts, and conduct cybercrime investigations to protect the nation's air and space power. DCIS. The DCIS is the criminal investigative arm of the Department of Defense's Inspector General. Unlike the other military CIDs, DCIS special agents do not investigate routine felonies. Their primary mission is to combat waste, fraud, and corruption within the massive DoD ecosystem. They investigate complex, high-dollar procurement fraud, the illegal export of sensitive military technology, and corruption involving DoD employees and contractors, protecting the taxpayer and national security. Park Police. The U.S. Park Police is one of the oldest uniformed police forces in the United States. While part of the National Park Service, it has a distinct mission focused on providing urban policing services to iconic national monuments and parks located in major metropolitan areas, primarily Washington, D.C., New York City, and San Francisco. They are the federal police you see patrolling the National Mall and the Statue of Liberty. NPS Rangers. Distinct from the Park Police, law enforcement park rangers are the primary police presence across more than 400 units of the national park system. They are often the sole law enforcement in vast wilderness areas, responsible for everything from routine patrols and emergency medical services to complex criminal investigations and search and rescue operations. They are the sheriffs of America's most famous natural landscapes. Fish and Wildlife Service. The special agents of the Fish and Wildlife Service are the nation's wildlife detectives. They are responsible for enforcing federal wildlife laws, with a primary focus on investigating major wildlife trafficking rings. They work to dismantle international smuggling operations that deal in endangered species, from illegal ivory and rhino horns to exotic birds and reptiles, protecting the world's natural heritage. Forest Service. The Forest Service is the police force for the 193 million acres of the National Forest System. Its uniformed officers and special agents enforce federal laws on these vast public lands. They investigate a wide range of crimes, including timber theft, archaeological resource damage, wildfire arson, and the cultivation of illegal drugs, ensuring the safety and security of America's national forests. BLM. BLM law enforcement rangers and special agents are responsible for policing the largest land area of any federal agency, over 245 million acres of public land, primarily in the American West. They investigate resource-related crimes such as oil and gas theft, archaeological looting, and illegal dumping, while also providing general police services and responding to emergencies in some of the nation's most remote and rugged terrain. BIA. The BIA has a unique and critical law enforcement mission within Indian country. It provides direct policing services or assists tribal law enforcement agencies in investigating and prosecuting both federal and tribal crimes. BIA officers work in partnership with tribal governments to address complex public safety challenges, including violent crime, drug trafficking, and missing persons cases, within a unique and sovereign jurisdictional framework. NOAA. NOAA's Office of Law Enforcement is responsible for enforcing all federal marine resource laws within the U.S. Exclusive Economic Zone, which extends 200 nautical miles from the coast. NOAA officers and agents protect marine mammals and endangered species, prevent illegal fishing, and ensure the sustainability of the nation's fisheries by inspecting vessels at sea and investigating violations on shore. EPA. The EPA's Criminal Investigation Division is the agency's environmental police. Its special agents are fully sworn federal law enforcement officers who investigate the most significant and willful violations of federal environmental law. They pursue criminal cases against individuals and corporations that illegally release hazardous waste, pollute the air and water, or engage in major environmental fraud, ensuring that those who intentionally harm the environment are held accountable. Thanks for watching. Which agency's mission do you think should be scaled back or strengthened given today's security challenges? Let me know in the comment section. Also, remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.